Hello friends, today we will talk about a very interesting topic which is a trend in today's generation is social media etiquettes. Now in this session we will basically initially understand what social media is, what are the different tools that we use, moreover for a business perspective when we are connected through social media. What are the some important do's or some important things or etiquette that you need to follow when you are on a social media for your business purposes, and also some do's and don'ts that an individual needs to follow on social media tools at a personal level. Now let's initially understand social media. Now it would be really funny for me to explain you all or give you all what social media justifications are. Everybody, all of us, knowingly or unknowingly, are a part of social media today, and we've been exposed to this media on and off on a very regular basis. Now, social media is something, if I have to break the term, it is media which is present socially, which means which is present everywhere. So when it is present everywhere, I will say social media is omnipresent. It is a very effective presence on a social networking site, which if used more effectively turns out to be really highly productive. Now, in a social media, there are some rights you need to make sure you're following, which are equal to the right perspectives, the right thinking on how you engage yourself and use this media approximately and appropriately in the right manner. So in a social media, you have right etiquettes which are equal to the acting in the right way. Now, if in social media the right way is the right way, the wrong way is the wrong way. There's a very clear difference between the rights and the wrong. And if you have to achieve success via social media, you need to make sure you're proportionately dividing yourself, or you're directly proportional to the right implications of do's and don'ts of social media. Now, there are three important principles that one needs to follow on a social media. The first principle is authenticity. Now, people will only respond positively if you are very, very sincere to themselves and to yourselves when you're operating social media. Second, transparency. Now, people have hidden agendas. Now, these hidden agendas, end of the day, come out and they at times become a negative part in the part of the people who have hidden agendas or are up to something wrong on a social media platform. And the last is communication. Here in social media platform, we are here to get to know people, okay, and by letting yourself also know them. But you have to be very, very careful in the way you are talking to them, the way you are presenting yourself. You need not open up on social media to anybody and everybody. Your connections have to be purely judgmental. They have to be through your sixth sense, and you need to be very clearly categorize who can be a professional connection and who can come out to be a personal one. Now, there are two rules, etiquette rules, which are universal rules which need to be followed on a social media. The first rule is Principle 1, Rule O, and the second rule is Principle 1, Rule P. Now, both these rules have the same concept or the same motive. They say that an individual's or a company's professional, confidential, personal information can be kept confidential. Okay, the services that he or she is providing can be kept professionally and confidentially until and unless they themselves wish to relieve or reveal those informations to the person outside. So you cannot in any ways hack someone's account and pretend to be innocent by getting information through them. So it is very, very clear that you need to very clearly divide as to how you will be on a social media platform, and it is completely a personal decision. Nobody can force you into any of these decisions. Now, the next is the points of consideration when you are on a social media. There are four things which you need to really keep into consideration. First, when you make an account on social media, make sure it's a very strong password, a password which only you can crack, a password which only you will be able to remember. And When you are using it through a public platform, make sure you do not save your passwords or you log out. Now, very, very important, do not give away your passwords. Like we keep saying, and we keep receiving messages across the day through various platforms saying that do not reveal your CVV number, do not reveal your ATM pin. Similarly, do not reveal your social media platform passwords, because today social media passwords revealed is a direct access to one's personal and private life. The second, whenever you're using any media, any kind of platform, you need to make sure that your privacy settings are as per your choices. You cannot leave it open or leave it as a choice of what the media platform designers have made it. You have to go to privacy settings and change them as per your preferences or as per what you feel is correct. The third one is, whenever you're using any social networking sites through any public hotspot specifically or through any public devices, please make sure you log in using a HTTP. So you have to do HTTP / and then the platform website ID that you are going to use. So the URL has to start with HTTP, because that will give you protection universally. The last point that you need to consider is, whenever you are adding someone, categorize them into different genres, into different things. Okay, they are your professionals, they are through your industry connects, they are just a networking person, they are your school friends, your college friends, your acquaintance, your family. You need to organize your contacts very specifically so that you know exactly what you're doing and whom you're posting what. Now, there are 4 important tools on social media which are very prominently used today for your business purposes. So first, we're going to understand these 4 tools and how do you use them only purely for your business purposes. Okay, the 4 tools that we're going to study today, or we're going to talk about today, is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. The last one is a YouTube. Now, Facebook is something which we all know, but we do not know that most of us use Facebook not just for personal acquaintance or personal pleasure, but also for our business purposes. And that is the reason you have Facebook pages. Now, whenever you make a Facebook page, make sure you make it through an individual ID and not through your personal ID. You create a new ID altogether for your business purpose and make a Facebook page linked through that ID. Second, whenever you're creating a Facebook page, just like you have a Facebook application on your phone, let your PR or your social media head, or maybe someone who's in charge of your own self, have a Facebook page manager application also. That gives you clear sorting between page application usage and for personal use Facebook. Also, whenever you create a page for your business purpose, please make sure you fill all the sections very correctly and you use the right words, because that it becomes your introduction about yourself, about your company. That is going to create an impact on the minds of the people and decide whether they want to be or they want to follow your page or they don't want to follow your page. So about section has to be very clearly and very smartly filled so that you take the maximum advantage of it. Also, the profile and the cover picture that you keep, make sure it's a recognizable picture. It's about your logo or it's about your company. It cannot be any personal or an industry picture. It has to be something related to your company. It could be your products, it could be your logo, it could be a company office picture, it could be a building where you're operating from anything. But it needs to be very, very specific from the business perspective. Also, you need to post consistently. Now, you post consistently, but don't overdo. Do not post unnecessarily. Do not post when not required. So you have to consistently post in the strategic times. Now, strategic times are, but in the mornings, not everybody is on Facebook. In the evenings, not most of the people are on. The most lucrative time when you want your post to be seen by everybody has to be between 1 to 4 in the afternoon. That's a time when everybody across the globe visits their social media platforms. So that is the most lucrative time. So you post at that time and you post consistently, but don't overdo. Don't post unnecessary. Also, the hashtags that you use, it's a trend, these hashtags that you use have to be very, very precise. You need to choose industry hashtags or your company related hashtags. Do not unnecessarily use hashtags because that's a trend or that's in these days. The maximum number of hashtags that you can use on a business platform is 2 to 3. Do not exceed more than 3 hashtags on any post of yours. Be very, very, when you're using Facebook, take advantage of all the tools that they have. Tools like you go live when you have an event happening or any kind of function that you're celebrating, any festival that you're celebrating, go live on that. Also, keep on posting stories through your pages, These things really help people become a little inquisitive about you. One thing, if they like, they will make sure they come back to you next time to check your page. So you have to be very, very smart again in the way you use the tools which are there on Facebook, which are like going live, the features, the live feature, the story feature. These are some features which you can take maximum advantage of from a business also. Also, there is a feature which is known as a call option and a message option. Please make sure that option is always on. Okay. During your office hours, mention the time. If you are a personal notice only can use operating your Facebook page, so you can keep it on as per 12 hours, 24 hours on. But if it is an office authority or an office individual who's using or who's managing your page, please make sure your call option and your message options have time mentioned specifically and they are always on, so that if anybody wants to connect through you through that message or a call, you are there to connect to them, because a lot of them want to connect through you initially through Facebook. If they find it's the right thing, then they will want to exchange their personal contact details or their professional email IDs also. Now you have to keep engaging your audience who have liked your page with very trending topics in the industry. Now these trending topics can be, you can make a pattern or a strategy how you want to post. Now some companies have a very specific. Mondays we post something, Tuesdays we post about this topic only, Thursdays we post about this, Fridays we only post about weekend plans. So they're very strategically defined that I will post every day, small picture, big picture, small post, big post, depending, but in a particular pattern. So you need to make sure that you engage your audience with any kind of current trending topics. The next is, do invite your friends to like your page, because it's your friends who are going to like your page without any issues. They are just going to like it sometimes. You can't force them. You just have to like them, and then maybe they are the ones who find it more interesting and then ask their own acquaintance to like your pages later on. So or they might just share your post, which you've posted, and that becomes a trend, or that becomes a thing which becomes like a fire on the social media platform. Now, when you are posting something on Facebook, please make sure you do not post anything which will hurt anybody's religious or political sentiments. So you cannot post anything religious or political with your views in it. It has to be very, very democratic post that you post. It cannot hurt anybody's sentiments and emotions related to any aspect of their life. Okay. Now this is all about Facebook, where you can write and you can post. Okay. Now when you move to Instagram as a social media tool for your business purposes, what two things you have to do is, first, again, when you create an Instagram page, the link, the bio link has to be again very specifically, very smartly filled, because that's the only place you can write about yourself in the entire Instagram. After that, every time you post a picture, you can tag 2 hashtags in it, or you can write 2 lines about it. You cannot write the entire content like you write on Facebook. So your bio link has to be very smartly written with minimum words. Okay, you have to make sure that there is a signature style that you follow on Instagram. On Instagram you can post about your office desk, you can post about your office walls, you can post about your canteens, you can post about the way you'll enjoy festivals. These posts will really create likings for people. You can also put questions for engagement, like polls. These features on Instagram are very nice. You can put polls over there. You can put questions which will engage people in answering them. Industry relevant questions. Hashtags, again, when you use, you cannot be more than 2 or 3, so they have to be industry related or company related hashtags. You can share on Instagram a lot of behind the scene pictures. That's the best part about Instagram. You can share pictures, 9-10 pictures in one go, and they all can be behind the scenes. So any funny or any nice creatively designed desk in your office, you can just post a picture of that desk. That creates inquisitiveness about people. Oh my god, it's so trendy, these offices are. That's what people like these days. Also, take advantage of the live and the story feature on Instagram, which is really important. Don't forget to drop in your professional contact details on Instagram, because there is no call option or a message option. There is a DM option, but the only problem with DM option, you don't access Instagram DMs that much for a professional purposes. Also, you can buy Instagram ads. Now on Facebook, the problem is you can buy ads, but they do not become your organic ads. They boost up your post ads. On Instagram, you can buy advertisements which talk clearly about your page. And buying those ads is a very nice concept. They're cheap, okay? They're very effective, so obviously it is nice. Now, some rule which applies to both Facebook and Instagram obviously is, do not delete any kind of negative feedbacks or comments that you have, or reviews, because that gives a real picture about yourself. Now see, everybody cannot be good all the time. Somebody might talk bad about you. So that one negative comment also might help your audience feel that they are real. Okay, they are not showing only the bright side about themselves, but they're also showing something which is bad. So it will, in the future, it will turn out to be a positive thing, and obviously you learn from these feedbacks. Like on Facebook, you try directly engaging yourself with the audiences with various posts, various pictures that you post, various industry related pictures, your company related pictures. Now these two are a platform which is used both for a personal perspective and a professional perspective. Now there is a platform on social media which is only and purely used for professional purposes, and any kind of personal nuisances is not entertained on that platform, and that platform is known as LinkedIn. Every professional today, be it in any field, needs to have a LinkedIn account. Now this LinkedIn account becomes a very important, because you can connect to anybody across the globe, irrespective you know them or you don't know them, because everybody there is only for a professional purpose. They are there only for networking and to learn something new. They are not there for any kind of lovey-dovey or personal related chats at all. Okay. Now when you're having a LinkedIn page, okay, for your businesses, again you have to keep it professional. You have to make sure your SEO is maximized about your page or the name of the page. So your search engine should have, or should optimize a page search. The reason is because there are a lot of companies with a similar name which is little twerk in it. So I should be able to find that company or your company very easily on LinkedIn. You have to also pay attention to what people are saying on LinkedIn. Are they liking a product? Are they expecting something new? The content that you put every time, has to be different. You cannot have a repetition. You cannot have the same concepts again and again. You cannot have the same sentiments on the content again and they have to be new. They can be your blogs, they can be just a 5-line write-up, they could be a poetry, just a rhyme. It can be just a jingle, it can be just a saying, but it has to be something different every time you post. You have to keep posting consistently, no over posting. You can do industry specific postings also. You can connect with people or connect with groups which are your industry groups, which are easily acceptable, and they easily invite such people. Whenever you talk about your brand, okay, do not dehumanize yourself. Do not feel that you are Don't post anything with no emotions in it. Please understand, every brand, every customer is a human, and the more you connect with their feelings and the more you empathize with their feelings, the more friendly you will become with your customers. Okay. Now, whenever somebody is connecting through you, do not send spammy messages. Spammy means sales pitches or any kind of sales promotion message. Don't do that. Instagram is not made for these sales promotions, okay? They're just to connect about you, create awareness about yourself or your company. The language that you use on Instagram has to be very simple because you are connecting with all genres of people. So I might not be an IT person, so I might not understand your IT language. I might not understand the financial languages also. So you have to keep a very simple language which I as a layman who's not related to your industry also connects with. Now whenever you are doing a LinkedIn page, no self-promotion, only business promotion is allowed on a business page. You cannot talk about yourself or brag about yourself that, oh, I know I'm good. You cannot talk about your company all the time saying that we are the best. You can just talk that yes, we do exist, we are coming up, we are in strong competition, we are coping up with the competition. But you cannot keep saying I'm the best, I'm the number one, I'm the best, I'm the number one. That gives a really negative impact. Now across any social media platform, you don't have to be negative, okay? You don't need to be negative. Don't be, because your negativity easily passes on social media. And finally, on LinkedIn or any other, like I say, you have to connect with your audiences. You have to reply to them. Don't forget to reply to them. Any of the audiences or any of the customers who have spoken to you or commented on your post, you have to reply to each one of them. Now, last social media tool which is used for business purposes is YouTube. Now, when you're using YouTube, you are creating videos. You cannot post anything. You can only write captions for those videos, maybe one line for that tagline for that video. So that line or the tagline has to be SEO optimized. Okay, you have to make sure that the keywords are relevant so that the search engine can easily locate your video. The URL that you create, okay, needs to always have your watermark. The video needs to always have a company's watermark. You have to make sure you share your webinars, interviews, videos related to industries about your company, about your industry all the time on your YouTube page or your YouTube video link. Make sure you keep telling people to like, subscribe and comment on your videos, because that will obviously create more likes, that will really create more views for your videos, which is very important. Don't submit any time a low quality of video. Also, don't post video for the heck of it. Just like you don't post posts on Facebook, Instagram or LinkedIn just for the heck of it. Videos don't create because, oh, I have to post something on Tuesday and I just create something and post it. Don't do that. Create a good video, some sensible video with a nice message, okay? The videos have to be viewer-centric. Don't think about just from your perspective, oh, my people should learn. Whoever watches your video should learn something, should get to know something new from it, okay? You have to be entertaining when you're doing on YouTube. Entertainment does not mean you laugh and you smile all across the videos, but you need to keep doing few things, but you need to keep giving information which will keep audiences connected to your video, okay? Be original and don't ignore criticisms and feedbacks on your videos ever. This all four that I spoke about, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube, was related to your business page, which is very important. Now, but a lot of us are not into managing social media platforms for any of the businesses, our business or anybody's company's business. So, but we do use social media, and hence it is very important to follow some do's and don'ts on social media when you're using it for your personal purpose also. Now, some do's that you have to do, very important, okay? You only connect with those people whom you feel safe or you're familiar with. You do not connect with anybody unknown and disclose your personal information to them ever or share your pictures with them ever. You only and only connect to those people whom you are familiar with or are from your industry or you feel are your acquaintance, okay? You have to take care when you're posting pictures about others. Please be very specific. Have you taken their permission? If it's a friend, you can just tell them, I'm posting today's XYZ events pictures, and you might be tagged in those pictures. Otherwise, only put those pictures which are related to you or your family or maybe your close ones. Do not post pictures about anybody related to you professionally specifically. Also, do prioritize your network in terms of who is who. Categorize your contacts, like I keep saying. You need to have the right connection on the right network. So LinkedIn, you can be connected to anybody and everybody. Nobody will do any kind of nuisances on LinkedIn, and if they do, you can anytime block them and report it. But on Facebook, Instagram, you need to be very specific as to whom you're connecting. Okay, what content are you posting? Which type of content is valid for which kind of media? Also, you have to be generous, which means you have to give credit. If somebody's taken a nice picture or has written something really nice, you can repost it, but please make sure you give credits to that person. And you have to possess a real good behavior on social. You cannot be a shrewd, you cannot be a flamboyant on social media, because I tell you, most of the companies today, when they get interviewers or when they get candidates for interviews, they ask them to wait, they ask them, we'll get back to you after 5-7 days. Not all, but randomly they pick up candidates and check their social media pages. They do it is because they get to know the real them about how much does this person party, how much does this person really sincere about his work, has he posted something related to his work, what kind of friends does he have. All these things, it becomes very important, and they actually check. The HR actually takes the time out and checks. So it is very important what kind of post you do on social media platforms. Now, some don'ts, obviously, do not share too much information with anybody. Be it anybody, do not share. Do not keep your privacy settings on always. Do not leak or give away your numbers and email IDs to random people, please. Okay, never drink and post on social media. Never put pictures of the parties which you will never want anybody else to see tomorrow, or you might be ashamed after 1 year to even share it as a memory. So don't ever do that. Okay, now when you're posting something, don't post indecent posts or indecent pictures about yourself or anybody. Do not post during your office hours. Really wrong. It makes a huge impact when your senior goes through that. Okay, do not overpost again on your page. Do not believe everything that you see on social media. Please don't justify or clarify yourself. If I read something, I need to go back and check with the authentic sources. Is this news true? Don't believe anything and everything on social media, and do not go spamming. Don't keep adding random people and then sending them friend requests and then sending them a hi and waving back to them and all of that. Also, don't dedicate all your time on social media. Don't use poor language or poor grammar and spelling mistakes. Make sure you don't engage yourself in topics which are really not relevant in your life. Don't create posts which are all in caps. Okay, don't excessively use any kind of hashtags. It's really annoying at times. And don't create sadness on social media, because your sadness will pass on to somebody else and that sadness just multiplies in the future. So if I have to sum up this entire thing, I believe social media is divided into 80-20 rule, where 80% is professional social media account, okay, where you obviously only post related to your company or your industry, and 20% is a mix of cultural posts, personal posts, or random sales offers. Now, if you are on social media, please understand you primarily are trying to build networks and connections and not have sales on social media. So on social networking sites, you only build connections and not sales. So that is important. That's all. Let me know if there are any more queries. I would love to answer all those queries and meet you in the next coming session.